I'm just getting something. Well, I was trying to charge that to get a light going in here. Is that better? Well, there's some light. I don't want all that light. I'm here. It's bright and early. uh, at least I turned on the camera. At least minimal. So, hello. And I'm still getting a little bit set up. So, this will not be the final situation. So uh, I've gone full on in for today, and at least structurally, everything is on at the same time, including going live. So that helps me to hold on to a different accountability. I'm excited about it, actually. Um, let's continue setting up here. And I actually arrived on time. Everything, at least, you know, before 6. Everything, at least. So, okay, so it's not that bad. So 6 o'clock in the morning. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one actually that we're using. Good. Nice. Okay, okay, okay. So I think I've got it for the most part. Um, yeah. So I probably will need to duck. Well, I know how now, so but I'll definitely leave sound on or something. Um, yeah. So I'm just coming in here, getting awake. Oh gosh. 6 a.m. I said I wanted to do this, so I'm incorporating going live at 6 a.m. in the morning, starting work. Well, a different section, but I've opened up everything. So I want to see how today goes. I think this is better. I'm moving everything off my evenings. I want my evenings to myself. Maybe I can sneak in and do the lives where I'm in the studio. So yeah. But anyways, um the seasons are changing. I'm getting ready for fall. I can feel it already. And I think I want to like get the work done in the morning. So I'll at least till I think 2 p.m. No, no, no. I work till 3. So it's from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Yeah, that's as far as I go, I think. Oh, hello. Hi. I am crashing in here. 6 a.m. in the morning. Oh my gosh. I know everyone is like, why did you change it? I'm like, I want my evenings. Because I'm like, okay, so I have this thing. Okay, at 6 p.m., I have to have time to like adjust. My 6 p.m. is my 6 a.m. So 6 a.m., I don't know. I can just tell it's just different. I'm up. I don't feel my body isn't saying, what are we doing? That's at 6 p.m. for me for some reason. So, and I can feel myself fighting everything at around 6 p.m. I'm fine if I make it to like after 7, but at least I need that hour. So I said, you know what? Maybe I just don't like the idea of my evenings being kind of taken away from me. It's the most beautiful time where I'm at. Um, and I remember going walking and, just having, this time to myself. So I said, let's try to recapture that. Do the work early, and then the rest of the evening, I'll just have to myself. Yeah. So I hope you have a good morning, a wonderful start of your day. But it doesn't mean that people who are like, well, I'm not an early person, midday, I'll be at school, whatever, college, work, whatever. I will figure out a way because I think I will go live in the evening, but just through the studio. I know that's different. Oh gosh. So I I love my results for my watch hours. Thank you for your help. Thank you for the new subscribers. I have like 18 new subscribers. So I do appreciate that. And I hope, but I'm saying I appreciate that. I hope that you're like when you had asked me questions about psychic stuff. I hope you have now become enlightened. I hope that you've gotten your answers and you're ready to go and face the world and do what you do. Do the best that you can do with it, and come back and let us know how you're doing. We care. We want to know. Thank you. I should say thank you that way rather than saying thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. No, but yeah, so yeah, I'm very happy with the results. That's all I'm saying. And I will continue. I mean, I'm not going to say I didn't try to backslide a little bit. I was over there just 15 hours ago sometime trying to see what an upload would look like on TikTok. I was trying to backslide. I know I said, stop. I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to discipline. Like, stop doing that. Put it all into YouTube. Stop playing. I'm trying. It's just old habits die hard. It's a habit. So I know where I'm supposed to be. Anyway, I know it's going to work too. I have a feeling I'm going to do really well. Um, because, I mean, this is as bad as I get. I can be sassy, but this is like my worst. You know what I mean? That's why I think I'll do really well, like in the program when that time comes. You guys won't have any trouble out of me. In other words, said hi. Well, hello, hi, hi. Good to speak with you. Hope you are having a great start of day. Um, I feel like I'm in some kind of like rehabilitation. I'm all telling everybody, good morning. I'm over there boiling my hot water, for some nice tea. I feel like it's bright and early. I'm saying I want to be productive today. I want to start the day off right. Hi, my name is Hi, my name is Isaiah, and I'm here today, and I'm so grateful. Thank you for like listening to me. No, it does feel like that. Golly, it's early, but I feel good. I feel inspired and motivated to do this. I do feel motivated. I don't feel the same at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. I'm like, what am I doing up? And for some, I at least need a nap. Like I need to lie down at 6 p.m. because my body just be like, come on. And I find myself like trying to get that shut eye till about 7 after like for an hour, and then I'm okay. But then I'm like waiting. Like I shouldn't be like I can't wait till, come on, hurry up. I can't wait till, my shift is over. I shouldn't feel like that. That's not how I feel about things. It's just that I know why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I don't like surrendering my evenings. So I'm giving myself I'm gifting myself my evenings. This is a time where I actually want to be here. So yeah, so that's how that worked out. That's why I'm here. It's new, and at least okay. I am, what do you call it? I'm dedicated to this for 1 week, and if it works, oh my gosh, if it works, yeah, thank you. You're the best. Don't give up. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep fighting the good fight. Yep, I'm gonna keep fighting. Yeah, I want to keep going. I just wanted to see where this is going. Like, where will this lead me? Um, yeah, I want to break the barriers. Yeah, I can do it. And man, mm-mm-mm. And I'm becoming more serious too. I could tell, and I could tell that YouTube, the thought of having a little bit more autonomy is already putting words in my mouth. I'm like, one of my companies reached out to me and said, "Hey, why don't you send us like information about your business?" I'm like, no, 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 no. I do business in this one. And then, by the way, um, I've already, okay, so I open a new account and something is trying to get through. And I had to already, my account was not a year old, and I already had to close my card. Somebody is was trying to buy like a $96 membership from DoorDash. I'm like, that's not me. And I went and I double checked. I do like, that's a funny thing. I do like DoorDash. So I'm thinking this morning, do I like have to yell at DoorDash? I'm like, look, don't sign me up for a program I didn't ask you to. I would do that if I wanted that. But there's somebody on your side trying to get me to buy their membership. It's a membership that I think it allows them to have like HBO, and it's like HBO and everything. So I'm like uh go to work. You want HBO? It doesn't sound like a bad idea. I'm not knocking it, but I mean, I don't. It's like 90. It's like $96 a month. By the way, that's $96 a month. That's not an annual. Like, how like you can get, like if you use a service, you buy a year, like $235, but you save $133. No, 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 no. This is $96 a month. So somebody wants me to foot their 12 about round roughly $1,200 bill rounding up. No, I'm not gonna do that. See, that's why something said. So when I opened up this account, because I'm trying to open up this account, but this is good that this is happening because I was opening it for YouTube, because I was like, I want to open up a different account for specifically for YouTube. So whenever I start, I guess when they're running ads, right? So I was gonna like let it go there. And yeah, this happened. So I think in my whole heart, because the only reason why it didn't go through is because something said only send $3. So I transferred $3 just to see if it's an easy thing, easy process. I did it, and only because it only has $3. And they've been trying for over, it's like they keep trying to repeat the same thing. They keep trying to do it over and over. I canceled the other one, and then my last message was the reason why I didn't go through. Only reason why I didn't go through as an explanation is because the dates were off. Yeah, so somebody's already attacking me, my account. So I don't think I like their security. I think I should stick with. So obviously, what I intend to do, yeah, I'm gonna use my original idea was to allow it to go into my current one. And so my company asked, well, hey, give us like, you know how you can, I guess, you give them sort of like I forget what it's kind of like giving your address. But I'm like, why would you do that for any company? If I can ask them, so what address are you on? You know, what, it's on my tip of my tongue. What URL is your computers on? Do you think that they would give me that information? No, no. Everything is perfect. And I hate it when, okay, so I have a very basic phone. This is traditionally psychics will have a phone with, it has no caller ID, it has no call block, it has nothing. It's what we call a clean line. And I hate it, or it just gets on my nerve when people like an engineer will say, hey, is there something wrong? Anything, you having technical issues? Anything wrong with your system? And they're implying that, I'm doing something other than, I'm like, no, especially when I know it's 1,000% it's on their end. I'm like, no, I'm not going to give you that information because when I start doing that, then funny stuff start to happen, like scammers are like in direct contact with me, for example. I'm like, no way. I finally have my business. I'm a business, right? And so I now finally have my business fully protected. I can stop scammers at the door. I don't get in my way and like clicking on stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm not giving anything like that out. I might tell you the name of my computer. I don't mind that, but like going in there and telling you just to make you have an idea. No, because that makes me feel like you're trying to understand how I do my readings. How I do my no, that's also my business. How I do my readings. If I want to teach you that, that should be something that I extend to you. I don't want to feel like somebody's like, what do you call it? Like some like big company coming in. what what is it? Uh, I don't even know I don't even, I don't know. It just feels the power dynamic doesn't feel right. Let alone I don't even know the name. No, oh yeah, I deleted that. I was like I didn't want even. I was trying to like not have it on my mind that was even addressed. But I did make sure that, and it's like disguised as troubleshooting. The thing is, another company similarly did that, so I had a bad experience. Um, and and after I left that company, I got wrapped up in two scammers. And what ends up happening is they caught it and they sat me down and they said, this is a business you're working with? I said, yes. It was so embarrassing being down with psychic. And I wanted to give them benefit of the doubt, but I had just like walked. This is back in 2019, by the way. It was 6 days before Christmas, and they cut contract. Christmas went. This is blizzard weather, but a blizzard, you know, exact. So and then of course yesterday, which would have been the 18th, Trump was ousted, right? So he was impeached. My contract was shut. This year he was reinstated, regardless of how I feel about him. This year my contracts are better, bigger, more than ever in my life. So the synchronicity says I'm gonna stay with God on this one. I know how people feel. I know it's a touchy subject, but for some reason, for me to live it takes this. So I'm in a good way. And you all weren't talking, none of you all were not talking to me the whole time throughout this entire time, by the way. 2019 on up to 2025. This is the first year that you're talking to me, and also first year back, and in fact, like 8 months or something like that, that he's back. I'm just saying, regardless of how I feel, this is what am I experiencing. You know what I'm saying? So, so I just know synchronicities. You know, I believe in synchronicities. I'm a psychic. So I got so this yeah, they guess how much I would have walked out of the bank with. 14 grand. Had I done it, I would have had to pay back 14 grand. That doesn't sound like much, but it's a lot when you have to get out of your pocket that you were actually this was supposed to be your compensation. That's different. I wasn't looking for a loan. Mhm. And so the first few times, okay, so the way they described it to me is like, yeah, that's what they do. The first two times they allow it to happen and they pay you, but then they ask for some like 14 grand. And then you do it, and then then the rest of it is scam. And then you get left with the bill. So it wasn't entirely a scam, but I did not my foresight. In fact, I was in the middle of the lobby right in front of the teller, I remember, and I dialed the person up. I said, if this is a scam, they're 5 minutes from being on top of you because I'm standing right in front of them and they're saying that these are not legit. These things are not, I don't need to do any of these things that you don't require, it doesn't require me to do these things for you. So they had explained it to me. And um, yeah, they didn't talk to me again. They vanished. And I'm saying then there was another one where I was receiving things and then I would send it to them, and it was for money. I was looking for something to do. I already had secured a job. I secured a job, by the way, within 6 days. And guess what that 6th day was? Yes, Christmas. So I was blessed with something for God gave me a job for Christmas. But I was up there. It's like, well, I would like to have, another stream of income because I was used to making, a lot of money, like corporate money at what I do. I was very wonderful, great. I know that I'm very good with finances. Having all the top credit cards, and able to give myself a loan. But yeah, that doesn't work when you don't have your corporate salary. Yeah, it's very different. Life is very different without your corporate salary, by the way. If you don't know, you probably know this already. So I believe them, right? Because there's never been a boss, right, who's never been able to pay me. I'm used to speaking with people with money, bosses with money and people with money. So I say, oh, okay, they could do this. And my dizzy self, was over there like doing business, getting things, shipping it all, printing out labels. I mean, they had an entire interface for me to go into and print out labels. I was like, ooh, I'm in business now again. We could be doing all kind of things. Back to where the direction I was going. My company, the reason why they did the contract thing, shut up, because that's when I began to live life. Yeah, I started now on my money that I was big, that I, was smart with. I treated myself to London. So I was beginning to be interested in travel. And then I could, I had my phone, so I was in my computers, so I could actually work remotely. That's what my contract stated I could do. So it's like I was like beating their system. So they were like, So they started even interacting with me differently. They stopped sending me, like cards. Usually send you a card for your birthday. It's like that entire year. So they had already mapped this out for the entire year. They could have released me for my contract within earlier that year. So this was more like a statement, like 6 days before Christmas, yada yada yada, in blizzard weather, by the way. And I asked, okay, the first time I went for a job, right, hunting, they's like, yeah, you don't belong here. They're like, they like, we know you don't belong here. Go find. They said I was strictly told go find a sit down job, a desk job. Go work at a computer. So it's like, what are you doing? I was like, just give me something because I'm used to working for mine. I'm not used to not being without a job. I make it work no matter what. So I finally got a job, and then they started giving me all kind of raises. And then my boss was asking me, "Do you need anything? Are you okay?" It's like, "Yes, I am." But let me work for it. Don't give me anything. I told them, yeah, they said, we'll take care of it. Like, no, don't give me anything. Make sure that, let me work for it. So, because I didn't want to create a relationship. I just want my money. So they gave me like, work, all the overtime that I wanted. And I was able to like balance out all the finances. I'm glad that I'm sorry. I know you all hate it, and I know women probably like, what is that? I'm glad that the right women obviously spend a lot of time with me. It was actually women. Thank you, women. They're on the other side. They've transitioned. Thank you for hanging out with me all those times. We used to talk and take long drives. Smart women who know how to, who like single moms, trying to, beating the system. They got they work really hard. They're exhausted. Their back hurt. They got their masters, things. So, like in their 40s, they're like, yeah, I got my masters finally. Oh, they're like reaching over like for their medicine, help with the pain. So that's to be honest. And it's like, this is the life, by the way. It's called content. And then they still teach me, do you want to be sad, angry, depressed, or do you want to be anxious, anxiety, and like not connected to reality? Which one you want? Happiness. And the other one is just, you know, you just have your needs met. Which one? I say, um, kind of both. They're like, yeah, you want to be content. You want to be in the middle. So you want to be grounded, and you want to be excited at the same time. You want to be you want happiness, but you don't want to be disconnected from reality. You want to be content if you're lucky. Thank goodness. But I did discover the Bhagavad Gita, which is perpetual happiness. Perpetual happiness allows you to have a fulfilling, rewarding life, and it's continuous. So I did discover that, and of course I discovered no, that. So that would have been when I was a kid. So of course along the way I've discovered, my university is based around metaphysical sciences. So I've got the metaphysical sciences. So I can coach myself out of most things, basically. If somebody gaslight the crap out of me, I know how to get back and center. Yeah, I know how to do that. Now, plus, I was raised by a lot of counselor therapists who, by the way, masters therapists working with clients. So I got a handle on that. So I won't stay in gaslit for long. But yeah, I had to work through it. I had to work through that. Yeah, because the companies were like, give us your system, and yeah, they get funny. You know what I mean? Um, well, the past. But what I've noticed with the companies up to date, like they walk the same track, but they don't. They always end up doing the right thing. I gotta take this. Oh boy. A pleasure. Okay. Sure. Excellent. A pleasure. Welcome. I'm Donald. And how may we begin today? Sure. Oh, absolutely. And but I mean, you have questions today, or do you have a particular area that you're interested in? Okay. Well, so now that you're here, so we can quickly get started, there's got to be something that intrigued you to pick up the phone and reach out to us. And what would that be? In one word, though. In one word. I don't need any answers. Holds. Got it. Let's take a look. Okay, that's a good place to start. So I want to talk where your mind is at. Give you something useful. So what I can see is this: you're in this space of wanting to be actually go with your instincts. I think you want to be more open to the potential your life has to offer. I do see some leadership elements. You do possess leadership qualities. I think that you are stable enough, but I also think that you're interested in spiritual things. So you're trying to have this lifestyle of like of some normacy, as they say, or secular world stuff, like just go to work. It's been a good space, but also you're starting to realize things, sense things that in the invisible world. And so, but you will need to maintain the balance because it's like, oh, it's too risky. I don't want to lose myself in that stuff. I want to still be able to be normal, but I think that you can, but life is a gift. You're also learning that, and you're learning to trust life or trust the maybe the little puzzle pieces in the world. You're learning to trust that, but in a healthy way, by the way. So I think that you really care about doing things right. All the time. I think that you're patient. Some people they want the fast route. You will say, I'm patient. I want to do it correctly. I can I can ride this out and do it correctly. And then you say, then I only do it once, and you get the praise and the results from that, which can be rewarding. But I see also money management. So this is kind of linking to um, the management of things. I believe that's also part of your leadership abilities is managing others. So if you say, well, what is my theme? And we have themes, right? Some of us are entertainers by heart. Some people are meant to help others, maybe spiritually, therapeutically. You're like a manager. Like you might find yourself being put in charge or entrusted with things a lot, or you might find that you prefer to do something on your own. It could be privately, but you're managing it. You're the one running it, in some way. But they also have here what's called like managing money. So you might find yourself doing something in that realm, in the realm of but by way of business specifically, I would imagine. But this is supposed to manifest for you these sort of potentials, actually throughout August, because that's a season change. Because we're moving into that late summer bit, but then the seasons will change into that towards that fall. So it's like you have all the way until September as these things are developing, which is nice. You're gonna sense a lot of changes. I think you're gonna be quite busy. I also hear the word accessible rather than busy. I sense that you're very accessible in this time for opportunities that will find you. So there's that, but they also said take it easy. They talked about like the times where it might feel rather than like, well, maybe it's opposite, stable. They said take it easy, don't worry, there is something better. So I'm just speaking to, did you know there's something better in this world? So that's what they're speaking to. But I hear a lot of in terms of people, if we can kind of segue to the people, I'm hearing words like, well, I trusted you. And I thought that you would have the same, esteem and things that I would have. I want to do this in the good way. And I thought that you wanted the same. So it's like, I guess we're different. We don't want the same things. So I am definitely hearing maybe maybe some reservations about getting like working with others, and that might be part. I like to be the one doing the managing, right? Because I know I'll do a good job with it. Then there might be that other part that where maybe the bridges have been burned. When people are too close and you want to believe in something bigger than yourself. So they said this time though, it's healthy to be open to people. It's very good. It will benefit you. And this time, instead of saying "I trusted you," that the woes, it's more like I can trust you. Like, so I can trust you. You want this as much as I do, and you want to have the integrity with it as well. It's like yes. So and then they actually do it this time. It's not just for show, just for you to turn away long enough for them to get one over on you. It's nothing like that upcoming around people. I know people sometimes will say, "Are there any warning signs? Anyone I should be looking out for?" I would say yes. There are sort of signs that suggest you should look for people to come in, but those are good signs. More like be open to partnerships. Particularly, obviously, this is more like it could be platonic friendships, but they're platonic friendships where you're working with them or getting some advice, something like that. But I think that it would be partnerships, as in maybe somebody like constituents, coworkers, etc., or partnerships in business, something like that. These particular individuals seem to really stand out to me. I just touched the planet of that rules the banking systems, and I heard, yeah, I like everything. You like to work towards everything. That I am where I'm going. I'm seeing that a lot as well in here. So let me tell you, this Leo season that we just entered officially. I know what you might have. Sometimes people think it's earlier, but it's August 10th. So here we are, it's August 13th, literally. And I know you're feeling that fire of like, let's go get them. You may feel like you're searching for something, and that's that fire in you. We all have a little bit of all the elements, and this action, what I'm referring to, um, to dispel the mystery in that. The guides say, by the way, starting up like conversations, especially things that seem to be I guess, on the edge of becoming into fruition. Again, this is regarding career stuff. It should be quite favorable. You should be able to get a spark out of others. You should be able to get people up and going, and making a move or moving. You should be able to get things moving along with your energy vibration, your natural theme for to be in charge of something important as this. Unlocking this means a little bit of your that fire energy you possess now. In terms of more relaxed relationships, by the way, if I may say, uh, I see I see a lot of groups here, that's for sure. So they may say that this is where you're thinking of yourself. So, like, if you were to make plans that were more like types of relationships that may be more for like recreational, this is favorable, actually, especially if you're like, maybe you, especially someone, can have a chance to meet amongst, friends, but the really close ones, this is very much that season for you. I think that anything that you're doing to focus on self is very much liberating for right now. Like very, what do you call it, prosperous, because it's speaking to what you have. Or I may have time. So it's something that you're owning. So you're owning your time well spent with others. And it's a great time to showcase your personalities. I think that you also will shine. So you'll be charismatic without, like, people will see the wonderful sides of yourself, even your quiet part. So you know, like your demeanor doesn't be like extraordinary. You have to go and be chatty. It would just be more like, wow, you know, they might be just drawn to your personality, the you know, as you are with you know, and you might say, you know, well, I speak more when you get to know me. And then it's like, wow, you know, yes, you're very charming. It's a charmed day. I'm so happy we met today. I was meant to meet you. So you leave people with that impression, I think. So you being you're magnetic. Mm. Well, I know we're at our end. Good luck today. Continue on your journey. Okay. Oh yeah, and I gotta go get my tea. I'll be right back. I'll leave the audio on, but I'm gonna do there. Here I am. Okay, got my little tea. Okay, I'm back, and there we go. Hmm. Yeah. So they began emailing me throughout the year, and the tone was not very nice. At the time, I wasn't thinking about the tone, and I thought they were just being polite. And then a year later, I read it, right? I read it like slowly. And when for example, I was in London, as I stated earlier, and they were not happy. They were mocking me, actually. They, like I said, I didn't even realize it. I thought they said, because you know I was like trying to have a good time, and I thought they said, "Oh, you're in London," like you know, like happy birthday. But actually, it read, "Oh, you're in London." You know, it was like the tone was snappy. And then there was other things as well. Like they have like these games that the company plays, like lottery, and I would incorporate a slot, and then they would write in all caps, "Don't do that." It's like in a form of yelling. And I had to like snap at them through email, like telling them not to be rude. They, you know, they could show me how to do it correctly, which I was doing it correctly. All it was filling a slot. So they wouldn't let me play. They didn't show me how to play properly, though I suggested that all they would need to do is just tell me how to do it correctly, or give me the slots that were available, ask me to choose one, and then the polite thing would be, okay, I will sign you in this one. I just reassign you. As simple as that. But they were being uh, rude is nice. They were being not stupid. They were being not inconsiderate, meaner than that. They were being uncouth. Yeah, they were being like downright scoundrel. So, and I pointed that because I am the type that if I see something wrong, I have to say it. Like if I see people, doesn't matter. I don't care if it's a male. If something is, and he's not able to defend himself, like I'm the type that I jump into action because that's how I grew up around people who, their voice and then they get active. And so I'm very much like that. Like I pull people off of people. You know what I mean? Like I am kind of like I get in the brawl. I be all up in the middle of it. I'm that person who's helping. So for them to like just try to tell me off and then tell me off in all caps and not try to like, the company you want, and it's a game. It's just a game, right? That they're not wanting to, like assist, be helpful, and and get me to be involved. So when I said that they let me go, I'm not of the contract, and it was to make a point. I no, I'm telling you that real like in the real sense. I'm not hating on that. That is their decision, but I think that it was pettiness. Like okay, so also the CEO who I met, right? Because they did fly me out, but I had to upgrade. For example, I had to upgrade everything. They didn't give me, a way where I could bring my own luggage. They didn't tell me that they were going to dress us up in that they had clothes already there for us because we were going to do a photo shoot. I know that for models that would do for models, but we're psychics. So I thought when they said, "Hey, we're gonna have a photo shoot," and this is the kind of clothes that we're looking for. So I brought my wardrobe, right? So I brought my luggage. They didn't give me a ticket that allows me to bring the luggage that I had. The seats were not up to par, in my opinion. So I upgraded everything and I included the luggage. And then, they made a big deal of it. And they was like trying to like, throw money at me in the form of cards, I guess gift cards of about $100. So it's like, here, yeah. Trying to make up, but it was a competition thing. It wasn't for like, oh, by the way, we all have a surprise for you. Oh, you all deserve it. Here, pamper yourself. So that was that part. And then there was a conversation about how I do see, and this is a thing I have to watch out for, I have to keep an eye for these companies asking me for my system numbers. They're asking me, so what system do you use? Like, how are you able to when you chat? So we have a built-in system that allows for, it will tell you when words are misspelled and it could point out your grammar. And I said, oh, well, I do too. And it's like, huh? No, you don't. It's making a big deal of it. Like, I was like, all you have to do is, have you heard of Grammarly? Like the universities, everyone is using Grammarly. You know Grammarly. I'm telling you about. If they were making a big fuss like I was, they treated me like I was trying to hack their systems. Like, and I'm okay. Over here, I have again a clean phone. I'll explain to you what a clean phone is, right? Basic phone. I have my internet, not a government issue internet. So they're trying to treat I'm like, you guys are not going to treat my PC like it's company company property. I'm not giving you all that information to make you feel like like we're in a corporate office. No, I bought this. Now if you were paying for the internet, by the way, which I have the top internet. It's a very, I'm not saying I have reliable internet. No, I have the best internet. fast, and reliable. So, I'm just not. I don't, that's what. So that's why I'm like really resistant on this because, yeah, it had not played fairly. But I know that it may like well this time the energy is aligned and everything that that one, the bad one, um, tried to give to me and twist it, these other ones actually follow through. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying they don't try stuff that I got to keep an eye on. They do, and I have to like draw the line, etc. But pretty much, like if I travel, they'll probably be like, "Have a great trip." They've even suggested, "Hey, anytime you want to take a week, just let us know." So there's that, and yeah. So they make it every way like so that means that the things that this other company, the one that I left from, was agitating me. I was actually doing everything right. These other companies don't see anything. Well, I didn't change. Well, during my away from doing readings from the industry, through the pandemic, I had plenty of time to work out my character defect. If anything was wrong with me, and plus I was in a job, not working for myself. So that means I had plenty of time to work out anything that was wrong with me, right? Everybody loved me. They even put me on Facebook. They like video and I was inviting people to come on down. So and they always talk to me. And not just my shift, but the next shift would come in, and I had to like talk to them. And by the time I talked to them, 2 hours of the time that I'm supposed to leave, my shift people were leaving. On the dot, like before. I would still be talking to people 2 hours after. That's what I'm saying. And sometimes they'd ask me, "Do you want to work in our shift?" So I'd hang out and I'd be on the clock. And the CEO from that company said, because they were doing a fundraiser, it's like, stay, we'll pay you. So I was using my abilities to help raise money for I think for some people had cancer. Some people were in dire strains, and so we would like raise money for them and things like that. So which I love to do because I felt like I was helping somebody. Kind of give me that old feeling of helping somebody. And but then in well, just this last year, it was July, spirit on a full moon, July full moon. I was called to my sacred space way out there in nowhere, by the way, in the woods, late at night, but the moon was out, and the spirit, it had an Irish accent and said, "You're coming back to the psychic industry." I was like, "What? Why?" And sure enough, the first company that I took up was Europe based, and guess which all the countries, including Irish. So I have all the European dialects in my ear, and African and Arab. Yeah, all of them are in my ear. And then I recently took up Americas. So now I'm back. With all of whatever is denied to me, as they say, kind of like when you say Boaz. You have ever heard of the Boaz? It's like return to me everything that belongs to me. That's literally where I'm at. So right now, so it's like everything that didn't make me fulfilled with that past company. Now I have it. Well, I'm working on it. I should say that I'm working on it. Hello. Okay. A pleasure. Good to speak with you today. Well, good morning. And how would we like to begin? Sure. Okay. Well, this is a very delicate question. I love it. So let's take a look into this and see what we gather here. So, um, I'm sensing that there's this space of like, thinking of you from time to time, but it feels very much like wishful thinking on his part. um, like wishful thinking of like what you might be thinking, what you might be doing. I think keeps an eye out open for you. But it says that so far as like reaching out, like pursuing anything, going anything further with it, it says that not this time. At least as far as I can tell, maybe not wanting to reach out and restart things from the beginning. I think it has a lot to do with compromise. So, like, to come back means we have to have a serious talk. We have to agree to things. So, it may be that was the breaking point, the turning point, like what I'm willing to do versus what I will do versus what I won't do. That's more like on his side. So this cycle kind of keeps you both from going forward and climaxing into. So it's kind of like you two were twin flames in my reading. It's like very good, very close. But now it's like it's the height of it is, oh yes, we can always be friends. It's like trapped in that. It's like, as long as you're casual, but it feels like it's from the fifth dimension. So it's like maybe be like talking from time to time, being on the phone, like, oh hi. But like you said, if ever that were he would allow that. Really, does he allow that though? It's like, not very much. I can tell. They said that he'll think about you, but he won't pursue communication with you to fix things is what they're saying. So, yes, it's definitely quite not what I wanted to hear. I would have loved to hear that he's going to make a move, a significant one, I mean, for the good, for the relationship. But he's definitely keeping his ways, keeping with his mind of not getting things back started again. That's a bit of a challenge. Yes. It's like if he saw you, it would be like pleasantly surprised. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. How you're good. How are things? I'm fine. And maybe we should meet up, or maybe we should talk. Yeah, we have to do that sometime. But then now getting that into fruition, that's a whole nother subject. Getting to actually do that, it's always that's where my reading always kinds of changes. It's like getting him to do those things though. Like he's a great talker, and like he'll do the friendly, interaction, like when like meetings when if you happen to run into each other, but then carrying that over to where he and you will meet, that part doesn't seem to be giving much in that space. But let's see what he feels. As they did mention that he does feel or he thinks about you quite a bit. The guides are saying that he's very much liking emotionally where he and you, were. He does believe that you both have a lot good to give to each other, like soul connection, partnership. So he definitely agrees with that. He does consider this to be a bit of a breakup, but he also thinks of it as, well, maybe life just changes. So that's how he's chopped it up to be like, well, we just our life changed. That's what that is. That's all that happened. It's not that we don't like each other. It's just that our lives change. He says he believes that both your hearts are still very much connected, and he would love to understand that better. But he does have a love for you. But of course, he considers the changes that your lives has taken. Mm, sure. Absolutely. And you know, like, but if I may add, when you manifest that, you know, like he comes back and you put out the qualities of him that you are attracting back, you know, sometimes, you know, universe, if he's not in the right mindset to do that, sometimes universe will send you a partner with all bearing all those qualities that he has, and even qualities that you didn't know that are great, that you would have loved, things that you hadn't even asked the current gentleman who you're in love with to do. But the other guy will have those qualities. So sometimes when you're manifesting, you could very well be pulling in somebody else. B- You know, and most people say that because they don't know the future. But the thing is that when you're co-creating, you know, if you're manifesting him, but if he's saying that he's not going to act on those on that way or in that space, then what ends up happening is that, you know, you end up manifesting a better situation that you have never anticipated. But because this is a spiritual reading, we mean you end up manifesting exactly what you want. That's It's got to be bigger than your heart, bigger than what you know. That's why you can say you don't want anybody else now, because you recognize it would just be a regular relationship. That means universe would have to outpace or outdo your last performance. It has to be big. Anybody were to meet you now, they had to be equal and better than the current gentleman. They couldn't be anything less, and that's called standard. So that's good for you because this means that you now know your standard. There's nothing less that you would accept. It would be unacceptable for you to go with a guy obviously whom you're not attracted to. So you won't attract the guy that you're not attracted to. I just wanted to prepare you for what's to come. And of course, we ask that you not completely shut yourself off from the idea of love, even if it does not have this guy's face on it, because he may, you know, continue to behave this way. If you're sending out to the universe, you want him to come back, but in a very specific way. Then, and he's behaving always this way where he's not allowing he and you to share love, and that's not something you ask for. You ask him to come back, be in love, be your soulmate, you know, things like that. So that's so right. So universe, when I say universe, we're saying the highest principle of whatever that means to you would grant you that wish that you're able to love again. But for now, you may need to like be human. Let's be human for a second. For now, you might have to really like deal with the emotions you have for the current gentleman, and that's okay. Take all the time you need. Take all the time you need. Right. And, you know, sort those emotions out. And it's not saying you have to change your emotions about him. No, he's a standard of a love that's respectable. You now know what you want from a partner. And so you want to continue having those emotions. So like you love him, that's good. You have discovered love. Wonderful. He may not know how to treat your love. That's the issue spiritually in this reading, why it's not favoring, you know, favorable answer. But at the same time, you have love and you know how to love him, and so therefore you know how to love, and you know how to love someone worthy of your love, and you already have your, like the guy, he has to this the guy, everything characteristic wise that's in the current gentleman, you have that, and so that means you're sitting at that, like, this is what I love about the partnership, the companions, the person who'll be a part of your life. You're putting that information out there in the universe, and that's that. Now you can attract, now you can manifest at those things. But so far as like him specifically, that one might be a bit of a challenge, something that you might have to consider. If you had to let go, would you be able to attract the qualities of him, like discovering and honestly answering what is it about him that you really are attracted to, that you are connected with, and then begin loving that, because that's going to help your aura glow. Your aura will become magnetic, and you only will attract those qualities from your partners. But a genuine, wonderful, spiritual language, the best partnership, soulmate, someone that you said, I didn't know I was going to fall in love. If you know, if you didn't say those words, no, you definitely won't pick another guy. You won't. So this is not about, don't worry, you'll find another guy. No, this is about picking the guy that has these beautiful qualities that you're asking for, and actually return the love to you. That's what it's about. This other gentleman right now, he's saying that he can't right now. He wants to maintain a friendship. A friendship, you and I both know, you're not looking for a friendship, are you? You're not looking for a friendship. No way. Hmm. Well, okay. Okay. Wow. I hate to hear you say that he hates you, he's blocked you and all those things. But what I love to hear you say is, but I love him and I know why you love him. You said you love him and you know why you love him. Because that is that quality that attracts you. It's not that, you're so much connected with his inability to return love to you, to reciprocate love to you, because now that you can receive love, you can also give love. You understand what it is. He may not understand what it is. Just because he's an adult male doesn't mean he understands what love is. I wish that we were kind of downloaded with that information, but love is about experiencing it. It's about letting it teach you how to love you also love you uniquely from other women. For example, like, you love him, right, from all the men in the world. You don't love all the men in the world like you love him. So that means you had to learn that. You learned that and you earned that. So that means you understand what love is. You know what it takes to love someone. So you're ready to do those things. And the thing is, not so much him. If he wanted these things, manifestation would work. He said, well, I know like you might say, I'm good at manifesting. I manifest everything else and I get what I want. Why not with this one? If he wanted that and didn't know how, but he wanted it really in his heart, you would have pulled him in. You would manifest him, and he would begin to learn and understand how to love you and reciprocate the love back to you properly. But it's because he is not wanting to pursue this relationship in that way, and chalk it up as, you know, I hope you're good. I'm fine. I think about you sometimes. That means he doesn't want to put forth the efforts to being a partner the way that you need them to, because you end up, it's not even a codependent that you need a love, you need your companion, but it's got to be something that bridge you two together, right? So you do need him, and as much as he's supposed to need you, but he's pretending like that doesn't exist, like he does what he wants. He doesn't have to make deeper connections. He doesn't have to, you know follow the lists, check off the list on your list. But you have a list, and if he's going to be with you, yes, you have to, then you can check them off. But he's thinking, why does he have to do all the work? Why does he do all these things? But it's not work. It's just he and you, like, understanding how you want to be treated, how you want to be loved, so that you can give love back to him. And so that's why it's not manifested in the way that you're hoping that it will. But it doesn't mean that your manifestation abilities are off. It doesn't mean that you're wrong. It doesn't mean that at all. It's just that what you are manifesting, and you will get it right. It's just maybe not in the way that you anticipated, not in the way that you envisioned it, But you're going to say later on, you're going to say, oh my gosh, this didn't happen any way that I thought it would. But I'm happy that it did. Hmm. Our time, right at the end of our time. I know. Well, good luck in everything you do. And now try to have a good day and work through it. See, I can deliver news if I need to. I don't like to deliver bad news, but bad news sometimes. See, that was another thing with this other company that I'm talking about that was not so good. Um, they always wanted, it's like they, high vibrational readings, they would divert, and then readings that were coarse. Now, I could read those readings, but they hated the fact that I would, um, I don't create the whole, you know, you can have everything you want and anybody you want. Because usually it always went into like, borderline. I don't care if this person if she has a family or not. I want her. Kind of thing. I'm like, I can't make her like give up her stability, like her house, her car, her own car, by the way. The ability to, like look after her children, and like people, because we go deep in these readings and they explain people's lives. I'm like, I wouldn't. Would you? I almost want to. I'm almost like, excuse me, if can we be real for a second? Would you leap? Would you make the leap? Would you leave your life, comfortable life that you bet you're building with you? Because all I'm thinking is that this is a professional making top salary dollars, and is may step may explore the passions of the world, but that she has a full life, and plus she's a woman. I'm like, why would she need to, like, he's like, they want her to, like, all I want to know is, will she move out, get a little apartment, downgrade her, in other words, downgrade her life, separate herself from her family, and to be with me? Those are the kind of questions I would get. I'm like, this is not spiritual. This is, when a psychic says that, oh, this is demonic, that's pretty bad. It's gotten bad. It's gone from bad to worse. I'm already bad. I've already got stipulation. You look at you, a tarot card reader, reading for someone who's asking, will she, this woman who's a wife and a mother of like adolescent children, they're just trying to get through elementary, and and can walk into a big kitchen and turn on the lights and get something to eat. I'm only imagining, wonderful, beautiful refrigerator. Everything is pretty new. Sit down, look at the bills, pay them that night, leave the credit card safely, on the top of the, go off to bed, take a book, go read under a lamp. Yes, she's got the husband. Yes, you're the other piece, the other piece, the other guy, but she's in the morning, she's getting ready for work, she's getting got the kids off onto the bus, but she's in a, maybe $1 million house, you know, or more, or more. And he's asking, can she downgrade her life to an apartment to be with you, to make it easier for you to conveniently, from time to time. All I could see is, so she does it right, but this person who's talking to me only going to, want to get together conveniently from time to time, and not be like, and kind of like orbit around her, and do what he want, travel. It's like, well, I thought I wanted this. Kind of like the guy that they were intending to like move together, set up house, and which this wouldn't fly in Dubai. If you did this in Dubai, that guy would be in so much hot water. He would have to pay that woman. Like if a guy in Dubai, uh, I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like misleading someone that. that there's a romance, and then you bring them over and you use them up, the woman can actually go after that guy legally. Yep, I worked with a client that, he had to, but sometimes, like any system, people misuse or misrepresent. So she wasn't truthful, and so of course her business with affairs with him got aired out, but it got to the truth. So she backed off, in other words. But yeah, you can't do that in Dubai. But here in America, I guess, that's still like, now I kind of heard where the court systems, even then, I still think that, like, if it's about money, like, well, you gave her the impression you were going to do this, but they're like, well, there's nothing I can do because it was, this is a relationship. We don't get into intimate relationships. So I don't think they would like make him compensate her in America, but they definitely will in Dubai. You bet your bottom penny on that. As patriarch at like one sided as it is over there, that's one thing. Like they don't play there because the whole. But she has to prove that she's not prostituting though. She can't be like prostituting, and so because then now she's in another type of trouble. So which they were clamping down on trafficking since last year. I was a part of that, had given them information on that, and they busted like people like very high profile people in that underground world. Yeah, rounded them up, cooled it out of some over there. I bet it still goes on, but they cooled it out some. They're trying to do it, by the way. So, anyways, so the guy was like, he's moving to another state, and oh yeah, you should move to where I'm going. We'll get a home together, and make it like we're gonna have a beautiful life. So she had a perfect job where she was at, fine and happy. She told him, look, if you don't want marriage, you're not serious, don't get with me. She goes there and he ghosts on her, nowhere to be found. She's over there. She's looking for it now. She job over there. Maybe she might have to call back the other one. Yeah, yeah, that has happened. I've read for people, and I'm like trying to explain to somebody who's like really still kind of caught up in the love of that, and walking them out through this, walking them out of this. Like, why won't you like let me come to the house? Like, why do I have to? Because the moment she lands there, he's like, find a place, find a house now, get an apartment. Like, wait, what are you talking about? We're gonna live together. And it's like, no, we're not. Change of plans. Like, well, where are you? Where are you? And he's not telling her where he is at. And yeah, my gosh, that almost makes me like, I hope there's retribution. Sometimes I'm be honest with you, I'm on her side. I'm like, oh, I hope there's retribution. I know she won't say it. She's like, well, maybe there's something happened and he just don't want to tell me. But I'm like, well, soon as when it all comes together, know that I was on your side and I agreed to her. Yeah, deserving of retribution for that. That was a bad move. And and then you have to try to like paint men in a better light. After a man does that, oh, I'm like, sweetheart, all men don't do this. What he's doing right now, men don't do that. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hope that things get better. The price was right. I know that things are gonna get better. I hope that it gets better. The price is right. Yeah, they were trying to, you know, allow me to perish. I just refuse to. That's all. I just refuse to perish. Like I'm like, Let's keep working together. Let's work. Let's grow. Let's get in a good way. Let's get better. We're gonna continue to enjoy life and build. We're going to overcome. We're going to change how people are able to still use those old tempting apples and strands to uphold some out of date thinking. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Um, it's never too late. I feel like I arrived just on in time. I think I met you all just in time. A pleasure. Sure. Mhm. A pleasure. Yes. Well, no, it's unlike you. You said that you were not going to come on until later this week. Yes. Good to hear. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All the time. I do this all the time. This is a normal. Okay. No, that's the time I let you see. Yes, exactly. I do I do what I want and how spirit calls me. Yes. That's the way that I like to read these days. I used to put the whole schedule and be dedicated, but I'm like, no, I need to follow what spirit tell me to do. Yeah, spirit brought me here now. Yeah, but people are used to normally my normal before you found me. It used to be every day actually, like 30 days straight, 7 days. Okay, that's the normal. What you would normally see, but I before you came, I switched it where I could decide how long I wanted to be here. Okay, so yeah, so this is not abnormal. I'm in my spiritual path and I'm doing what I always wanted to do for all of my life. I'm here now reading for you. And I'm grateful to the universe allow me to do it. And yeah, all of that. And I love you to pieces. Yeah. 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 Good morning. It's a beautiful morning. Yes. Good. Yes. Okay. Right. Yes. Yes, but you have gained intuition, obviously. Your intuition has grown massively. Yes, and your ability to manifest has grown. Hmm. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Okay. Right. But we know full on the what this world, outside secular world specifically, does not care. You still have to show up to work, even if you don't. If you're mad, you don't feel good. They're like, get out of that. Get back. Get your head in this business where I need you. Yeah. Okay. I'm following. Just because you're having a bad day, you can't say, oh, I can't go to work today just because I was having a bad day. You can't do that. Okay. Sure. You just want to get there. The eggs, exactly. Yeah, I resonate with that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Moving. That's the name of this week. Motion. Motion. Mm-hmm. Active. Mm. Yeah. Uh, um. Well, no, 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 no. No. We gotta watch for this entire week, and then the Wednesday next. Also, like 2 days. Well, 3 days. Well, counting Wednesday next week, that's included. But for everything that's the process, it means by by the end of the, I guess you could say end of the day for Wednesday. But energetically, I'm always seeing Thursday of next week though. By next week, we are supposed to have all of, at least like if you like what's going on with at least two of these, like what's going on really like with the families. Like I even get the sense that it means I have an idea of what the family that I'm going towards. Because I felt that they're going to act or want to move this along very quickly. Like move you towards the family that you're going to work with quickly. That's what I'm saying. Sure. Mhm. Sure. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Right. 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 I get the sense of like, giving them some time to align. I don't get the sense of needing to necessarily apply. But like, be open to all options, of course. That you're willing to accept. I mean, when I say that, and like give them, it's like it's a Wednesday. At least give them Friday. I would say like Friday. Although I'm seeing this time and into the next because I felt like this week the family are finding out about you, hearing about you, and then it's being sort of like relayed like this week, but like they're going to be in touch soon. But when I say soon, I mean to me it's like in days, but I'm talking about the business days. So I'm not counting Saturday and Sunday. So I would say like maybe Friday. If you were to reach out, it would be more like Friday. But I mean, if you just had to, I would say Friday maybe. Mm-hmm. Letting your agency know that, that you're here, you're nearby, or you're looking out for their email, their correspondence. You're not far away, anything additional information they may need, you'll get that to them right away. That kind of thing. And then Monday, I know they're gonna be in touch with you, like because so it goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. These 3 days seem to be the days. Mm. This week is the other like the people on the other side are getting their information. Like, hey, we think we may have found somebody, you know, like when can we set up? When would be the best time for you? What works for you? Maybe like an interview. So that's where that's where they are on the timeline for now. Sure. Well, what you could do is definitely don't limit yourself. It's keep your mind open, very much so. And by keeping your mind open, all of the opportunities can reach you. But when you did ask pose your questions, you were very specific to ask about two specific families, and so readings do indicate those two. Those what the readings are for these two families. Um, but that doesn't mean that, like you said, you're exploring all of your options, and that's good that you are open to other options. So all of those options still can reach you, but these two specifically, the ones that are Dubai related or outside Dubai, however it goes, um, these are the two that the readings are speaking of. Mm, mm, mhm, mm, mhm. Okay, okay, sure. Makes sense perfectly. Mhm, mhm. Right, right. Okay, right. You've had to like lay down your boundary. Like, no, I gotta have it this way. Mm, yes, right. Well, spiritually, that won't help you. Your thing is you need to see something tangible, and you just have to embrace at the moment that other things are happening you cannot see. that it's just like that. There's things you're not going to be able to witness because it's not happening to you, because there's other people involved. There's other people on their end, like logistics and things, a relay of information. They're part of your journey, but they're experiencing their side of the journey. So you're sort of out of the loop in this part. Whatever they're talking about with the company, the families and the company, or the company's talking with them and with the family, you don't get to hear that part. That's the part you won't hear. But that's the part you might not even want to hear. You'd probably be like I would be, like, okay, so do they want to work with me or interview with me or no? That's pretty much it. They're doing the business thing. Okay, so here we're serving you, the family. I mean, the company's serving the family. Like, okay, we're so happy that you chose us to work with us. How are you doing? How's the family? Good. We want to match you with somebody wonderful. So you're letting all that happen, all the natural microcosm, practical thing, mundane things happen, and then they'll reach out to you, and then you're gonna say, "Oh, finally, I'm on my journey. Thank you," because it is about your journey. It is your journey, but your journey isn't official. I know until they reach out to you. That's you're just gonna be there. You're gonna be in that space. Having to you have to just deal with that a little bit, but pretty much you're on the right path. Mm, it's okay. It's okay. You're okay. You're safe. You're going to attract this new direction. Your focus is to buy. See what you can do there. It's not a problem with matching you to the family. Right now, it sounds like trying to match you with the right family, the perfect family for you. That's that's pretty much where you're at. And no, this is a very specific path, but you're better at manifesting. There's no doubt about that. We witnessed that. You can manifest. You learn that fast. Yes. Mhm. Sure. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Yes. Absolutely. 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 We're here for you. Yes. Sure. Okay. Right. Absolutely. Of course. Good. Absolutely. We're gonna get the family, the one in Dubai. That's where we're channeling our energies. We're gonna pull them in. That's our goal. We can do this. A pleasure. Okay, my love. My gosh. I know her feelings are hurt a little bit. I know she's feeling a little burned. But there's no rejection in my voice. There's no time when I rejected. All I said, I even praised her for the intuition she's worked on, but she doesn't know what I'm doing. She wants to know what I'm doing. She wants to control you guys. And so I've not done anything wrong. I wasn't being mean. It's just that you don't I don't She doesn't know. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. Like, my channel is growing. I'm getting large watch hours. I have more watch hours than I've ever had in my life. People are talking to me. Y'all are like chatting with me. Clients are calling in. I happened to come on today. She's like, "This is unlike you." I said, "This is unlike you." I used to go 36 days without no break, no time, no day off, 7 days a week. Guess when I would start? 3 a.m. in the morning. I would take a break at I take a break. I think from 8 to 9 a.m. my time, and then I would work all the way to 3 p.m. 3 p.m. every day, not 31 days, 36 days. And why would you say 36? Because that's when we need to pay the light bill. So, right? So I did that for like a year, like, right? So I said, I want more time to myself. So I gave them my minimal hours, which is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, which is from 10 o'clock p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. And then on Monday is 10 o'clock to 4 p.m. But on their time, it's like 9 a.m. to like 4 p.m. in the evening. So so she's only been around for a little while, but she thought that I'm like, no, this is normal. I just want to be able to do what I want to do. Yeah, I didn't turn out to be what she expected. But anyway, on to success. On to success. Yeah, that's from having American moms, plural. Had American moms. That's from having American moms. A pleasure. Sure. Okay. Welcome, Jeremy. Good to speak with you. I know there's a lot. Hmm. This is a time of action, and I know you're a fire sign, so I already know that you've got some. Well, this should be a very energetic time for you. Like, you want to see things happen. You're like, what do I do with this energy? What do I do with my time? So it's like you said, placing yourself in those types of spaces is healthy for you. It's very good for you. Like the ability to go forward with things, make things happen. I would say. um, let's see. Well, they do have here in the material sense, so definitely it's a lot going on there. All channels concerning material, like money, business, those kind of things, seem to be. Now this is empathic, so it's like how literally you feel, in terms of now these partnerships are becoming binding. I see. So, which is good because it also represents inheritance of sorts. So you're inheriting this new direction, or taking on this new direction. You're just having to do this. How do you do this and navigate? Like, know who's who, because like you said, some people you can trust, some people you know it's not going to work, some people you do. But I believe the ones you know will work. I think you're familiar with those. I think you're good in that area, but you're still having to navigate with, maybe some, what they call it, self-sabotagers. Like people who they want to do things, but they kind of don't let things ever work out for themselves. So there's that bit. but most part is definitely speaking to these things in the business sense, money sense. Yeah, that's where I see you for now. But I like the idea that this is a time for, or this week, I should say, has been time for action. Um, and it's going to go, well, it's going to continue actually. But there's something that also you should be able to determine. I keep hearing we should be able to determine something soon. So there's some real number, something that you're going to get for yourself that you can finally say, well, we can now determine that this is going to be a success. And we have a ballpark of what we're looking at, maybe even, like they said, a number, that kind of thing. Like even may even be opinion. You might say, in my opinion, I think that this will work out fine. Um, like I see you sit, even though like these rumors that are I guess we're imagining that's circulating, unwanted rumors, like what people might say about us or what people are thinking, but maybe we don't know what they're thinking. But then I see like this very enchanted and very much things are moving or happening the way that they're supposed to be. All of these possibilities of like doing business with these partnerships abroad, like beyond beyond where you live, but I would say like in the world. And of course, those are, they say, like, what you say, life's about the meaningful things, the meaningful people. And then it's like, we kind of like, we want to protect these partnerships. Like these are our highest bets. So we're to place bets on that things will work out. So it's like you have this group. Of course, I like the idea also that there's like a common interest, but there's a few different ways to go about it, which means that just further supports like you're able to put your efforts into this. That's you putting your like they say, what do you think, Jeremy? And you're like letting them know what you think. What are your thoughts? That's what I can see. So that means that there's a few different ways that things can happen. Ways like in terms of like what they how they think it or thought it would happen, the way that you may be perceiving. Common goal says, well, let's try it that way then and see if we can pull it together and make it and see it through determination even. It's like, okay, that sounds good to me. And then it happens, it works, and then it's success. So like these are the kinds of things that I can tell like the path you're in currently. This is a bit of a current, but am monitoring. Okay, so all of these next, I would say, business days, like Friday. I left out Saturday and Sunday, but we could include Saturday, Sunday, something that you might do like independently. But Monday through Thursday, I'm really keeping an eye on this time frame, even though this action goes a lot further out than just that this like 9 days or 7 days or so. It goes a little further out than that. But I think that some things are happening just quicker in this area. Right. I think it's moving a little faster than we maybe would imagine that it would. Even if it's like just people like letting you know, I think that you even already have a dedication. Like they've already, what they call it, like agreed. Like we already have their word, or maybe even their signature. But this is like definitively, like absolute, that we have our kind of like we're assured that we are doing something in terms of like moving forward, moving with. Hence, that's all we keep saying. So we set into things in motion now. It's like this is that time. Yes, we're in motion now. So I like that idea that that's working out, comes to pass. Um, Now, so we worked with some of the inside stuff. So if we may step out into the worldly stuff, because that gives us a little bit more practical things, like more things that you might can see with the eyes and recognize. So they said right now, stability and leadership. We know leadership that's synonymous to you. Going with your instincts, you're very wise. You just know when to move, but yes, actually, right now it seems this part of the reading seems to be talking about the world, international stuff. So it might be like a little bit of outside the by stuff. It might have a lot to do with your travels recently, or upcoming ones even, but it's mainly talking about like design and business and meeting like, but you come through smartly, like independent, like you're at your highest when it comes to like your mental and also your ability to again move independently. You're in motion, but things are in motion, but also your emotion like as an individual. So they're showing a lot of that here in my reading. So this I like this explanation because it took out kind of like the negativity, unfortunately, that you're experiencing, that you've experienced, and some maybe some concerns in that area, um, and the need to sort of safeguard this space. It just like clearly just stated that you're in this space and it's like going through designing a business. Basically you're most like basically I would say this is to design something, framework of business. That's what you're doing. It's business as always, but you're the framework of that business, maybe of or a new project. I'm working on something else now, that kind of thing. I'm working on something else and I'm frameworking it right now, but it's work, but you're working at the same time. And there's offers here presented here, or either offers could come in the form of taking on a role. We offered you a role, so taking on a role, it's something to that effects. But it seems here it seems pretty strong for the most part. Yeah, that's the completion. I like the fact that clearly you're in the conversation because it speaks to intellect. It's saying that, uh, you're working with your mind in this one, or they said, being, moving smartly about things, or even working smart on things. Like, so you're using your wit to navigate the right way. The fact that you're able to do this as an independent is just astonishing. I'm not over that yet. There's so many words that come to mind every time that this is come up. And it's two things that, by the way, that I rely on when I read with you. That I look for symbols for you. Is leadership, because I knew that you're going to step into that space, but also independent journey, this independent road that you're on. And then it sort of explains like what it kind of shows me what you look like on that road. And that's why they keep showing me like, using the mind, thinker, solving problem solver. So I see that as part of it, as well as the ability to help frame things in the right way, like a process for doing good business. But they say specifically it's like shaping business is really what these conversations are. Like, so now that you've got the business, how does you and the team intend to, you know, what does that mean for your group specifically? So that's very interesting. This will be something of a bit of your creation, I would say, co-creating, but still. Um, so that's in that space. And then in the highest vibes, let's see, there's a lot going on here. So they're letting us know that you are in this interesting situation. Okay, moving with caution. I was double checking. They want us to mention caution, cautionary things. Being at peace with those. Okay, you're in peace. I know you've had concerns in the past with people who you're going to work with up to date. It's like you're working with them. Um, so it's you are now in more have more control, but the people around you are safe. I think you're becoming more at ease with the idea of working with them. Like, okay, they're serious. Are they reliable? No one maybe is always completely reliable, but they're reliable enough that you can trust that they will, not self sabotage. They will stick to, what is in, their intentions. So for themselves, even for themselves. So I saw that you're becoming more at peace with that idea, which is good. So far as unreliability kind of comes in when if we're settling. So as long as you're able to move forward, it sounds like I think that what do you call it? Feeling like you can push back or push the door open. As long as you're in motion or action, that seems to be more favorable for you to keep out of that unstable feeling. Like, oh gosh, am I doing everything right? Because you're in a stable, actually they talked about you being in a stable place, but they said that when that comes in, that's what it's about. As long as you're able to have your voice and push the doors open, especially in the form of networking, you have your voice and be recognized, you're going the right way. um, a bit of and sharing your wisdom, travel, the doors are still open for you. No, these doors are not closed off to you. They say, saying the things that you can do. Say that, I mean, like you can do these things. Say those things. It's, by the way, so if it may be spiritual, just a one for one little cause, this is your life purpose, meaning this is purposeful. It was meant for you to make these travels. It was meant for you to do this level of business. And that's, I'm going to put a period right there. I know it's a lot. There's some additional things, but I wanted to focus on that positive. Like this, regardless of what's going on currently. Of course, that's the next stuff that was coming out, but I decided to put that to the side for a second. And it's focused on the fact that you're going in the right direction. You are in the right space and you're doing something good. Like this is, I still recount that the guides have been saying these endeavors really do help society in some way, the world in some way, which will be also revealed. If it's not revealed to you already, Jeremy, it will be revealed to you another time, like late up the date. I know this is a little way out there. It's a little talk. When I started talking about that part, that seems more be more like 2026. It's like this is what people are working for, right? They're setting it all up. You're part of it. You're joining them, and you're coming up with your ideas. They're sharing with their ideas, but like 2026 is they're doing it. You'll find that they're doing it like these are private companies involved, and they're doing this because they're fixing or making society better. I said it that way. To make it progressive, they've also used in the past like progressive business, on a maybe like maybe even a government level. Or sometimes it might feel like you're connected to government in some way. So that'll be wonderful. Or like a government working like state level, like at a level where they're working with infrastructure, making things more modern, for example. So I like that. Or making business seamless, more seamless. So that is very interesting. That's 2026, though. I know it's 2026. But you'll see, you might hear hints of it, which should inspire you. And that's exciting, to be such part of a big cause. Sure. Oh, okay. Jeremy? Okay. Yes, it's a lot. Good. Good things underway. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's looking good. It's looking good from this direction. I like how you're unraveling the future. The puzzle is being solved. That's most important. And they did say that by now you have found your resolutions that you've needed, and certain fears are being or concerns are being eased. You know that there's something much better in the works than what your concerns are trying. Might sometimes give you foresight in. Mm. It has to be right. It's your sole purpose. What could go wrong? If it's your sole purpose, that means you're meant to do it. You're called to do it. Okay, sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Understood. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't get the sense that right now, like when they're going to attack, I don't sense that right now, like anytime in August. Like it seems to be like a little farther out there, like some ways out there of when they might, like if they are going to. We're not saying that they're not going to take their action to move. The his team of counselors may want that. They may be eager to do that, but I have the bet that what you're doing now. So you're mhm. Okay. Okay, got it. Got it. Makes sense. Okay. 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 Right. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so they're letting me know that before that before their situation of attack that you're going to have you will have already presented what you're going to present next. Like how you're saying I need to get them this new evidence and then go from there. That's going to happen first, like, or that will be recognized first. I believe so. I believe so. Because I believe that it's going to not only stop them, I believe it's going to halt them. Because sometimes, you can do that, but they can still move forward and can still go grabbing things, even as this process is happening. But I get the strong sense that it's also going to pause them. They're going to be in pause. Like they're going to have to face this and then stop them. And, it's going to pause and then stop them. And this is concerned with like you mentioned Italy. I'm vibrating with Italy, the situation with Italy. Okay, like maybe property, as you mentioned before. But the guides definitely are saying that they get paused, they even get stopped because they are kind of pulling this along. They're not being swift about this at all. They're like, we're not in a hurry kind of energy. Mm, it's strange and in your favor, strangely, oddly enough, in your favor. That they don't move and giving you long enough to, get this new evidence. Mm-hmm. It is. It is. That's the way it worked out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Absolutely. That makes sense. That makes sense because like you said, it's gotta be somebody who's going to see this through. They cannot have no doubts. They cannot not one moment, show any cracks in themselves because like this is kind of like very straightforward. When you present your evidence you have, they should be like cover it, like what like take hold of it, take charge of that, and see it through. That's right. Not be nice about it. You've got that right. They, somebody like a heavy hitter, definitely like you're describing, it will happen. You will find the one who can do that. Mm. In time, I guess. In time, you'll find. Mm. Mm. Right, right. Yeah, these three. What's good is that these 3 weeks also are about um, like powerful personalities. Your powerful personality That of course the lawyer is gonna, the one you seek is gonna be powerful, very much public eye. Everything is happening in the public energy, communicating agreements. This is it, see, this is just working out favorably every time. The more that we talk about this, because the idea that you're in the public eye, you work with somebody in the public, even though it's private, but your image is very much out there, and that lawyer's image is out there. It's about debate, arguing, your inner monologue, things like that. Outwardly argue, like expressing one's thoughts. So yeah, favorable. You're in this season for that conversation. I only That's why I'm saying favor, because of the characteristics that goes along, like just energetically. What you demand right now is what's needed. Is You're definitely in agreement. So you have more things working in your behalf or working for you to go forward with this, and for it to actually come to, to see it through, manifest. I see you at least, as you would say, happy with the incoming lawyer. I do see you in that way. And also, like, in terms of image or being recognized, you will see growth. So, like, maybe even luck, a little bit of luck, social luck in this space. Like, socially, as I embark on this, being perceived, I mean, you will find that you're in a good way. You're seen in a good way. Respectable light. I see this. You are in respectable light. In other words, it's not luck. You worked really hard for it, but I just use that. It's a generic metaphysical word, but it's, very abstract. But we mean respectable. Like image is what I see, and taken seriously and recognized. But it's also a sign of growth. That's the other word they use. It's a sign of growth in this matter. So you're becoming more visible, I would say. So then your the lawyer then will want to protect that. So under that agreement. Hmm. Okay. Right. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Right. Right. Yes. Very wise. That is you captured the spirit of this particular 3 weeks. That's exactly what it means. It means like you are in motion. You know that they're in motion, and you're acting fast. Your energy is like immediate, and instinctual. So yeah, this is very favorable for you. Like in terms of like executing. You act, you execute, but you'll be happy with this results. Making money. Right. That's a good one. Yeah, that was very interesting. I was the style of reading was empathic, but they were talking about specifically making money. But as to what you were connected with, and yeah, they said that that's part of. That's where I found out that you're on your life purpose, which is to be making money, set into motion, so money is made. That's that's definitely happening. Making money again. Yes. Yes. Okay. Got you. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Energetically, even though you haven't heard from them, like the readings, they still show up. For some reason they show up. I'm always expecting, okay, what are they going to try this time? What are they trying to do? And because I believe that of course, like any lawyer, like they want to stay in working as long as they can. So if sometimes I get the feeling like even though the conversations, I guess, die down, they're all like reaching out, hey, you should do this, you should do that, because it's like, well, we'll do it for you. So it gives me that feeling sometimes that they try to push things, for like from their angle, or maybe presenting to, I guess, Bruno, like, hey, yeah, you should do this. This would be good for you. So I'm always looking out to see, like, 'cause, they could be working overtime. So I'm always making sure, like, reading what's going on in this area, you can look out for. And I definitely can see, like you said, they're kind of, trying to investigate, or read your profile, see what's going on on your side, what you're doing. I do not put that past them, even though, of course, we were considering that as we were reading today. We know that you're steps ahead now, and they're trying to figure it out. Currently, you already know what they're doing now. They're trying to see what you are, what you have, trying to size you up. That's what I got the feeling of. Been getting this vibration for the past few weeks, or since the last time we read, which was a little while ago. I've been getting the feeling like, like trying to see, trying to find your value, anything of value. That's the feelings I've gotten from them recently, and I do believe it's coming from from them specifically, kind of like to test to see whether options are the best way to attack, if you will. You've been using that today, um, and so it's like I don't get the feeling that they're not ready to do much still. I don't get the feeling they're ready to do much. There's like much work to do, but they haven't started on that part. Like how they're going to attack or where. Oh, go ahead. Business as usual. Right. You're holding your composure. No major worry. They're trying to see if you are freaking out, kind of bit, or you're ranting, like anything that gives any way. You're not giving them anything, like a way to any kind of openness, to being attacked or nothing. They don't know. They don't have much to go on. That's why they needed to do this. They didn't even know they don't know where to start unless they research. They don't even know where to start. They don't know much about you other than what they've what was presented. That's about it. They don't even know where to go from here. Where that's why they're trying to see, trying to gauge you, kind of like just to be, even though it's like, and even then they may not be able to move forward with anything. So they just kind of like, well, if we just know now, then we'll know later. We'll have something to say later. That's the vibes I get. That's why and maybe this is that inner knowledge that's saying, this is why there's plenty of time for you to line out your next move, because they don't, they're trying to figure out what their next move is. Hmm. Right. But so like you described someone very, very, very much in knowledge of, like you said, somebody on the higher end lawyer, someone like you said in your description, who comes in and who is persistent. That's all that's going to work out. I saw that was very strong. It's like unclear about what your options are now, but then give you the ability, the answers. Well, it's clear. It's clear in the sense, you have something good. You have your evidence now to present, but it's like there's other options for you as well, that the lawyer is going to be able to share with in his language. It will come out. Well, I think that also definitely will give peace of mind once you have that. Let you know that this, going further with this, is not in vain. That you can actually protect the things you want to protect. That connects you also with some sense of inner peace and joy, that something to celebrate as well, upcoming. Like this is not over. You're still protected energetically, and then of course naturally, as these other things you have lined out or unlocking, like in business, I can only imagine the happiness there. You're protected in addition to these new doors opening up, making money, and making money abroad. It sounds like it's going to be a thrill. It's going to be exciting, what I can see. But they always say, yes, there is something better on its way. Something better is happening. Something much greater. They do say that. But you're like, okay, when I arrive there, but in what condition do I arrive? It's that part that I believe protected at the end of all of this. Protected. You arrive protected. Yep. Those are those are the symbols. Okay. That's a pleasure. Yes. That her spirit job. She's your companion. I always say that. She walks side by side you. She's looking forward to always, telling you, look what I know. Because she's always learning something specifically for when she meets up with you. Yep. Good. Okay. Yes. Good. I love that. Okay. Well, many blessings, more blessings for her. I know she's part of your spirit team too. Christina is. Mhm. Good. Yes. A pleasure. Will do. Oh my gosh. Lucky man. Man, he lucky. Yeah. Okay, Harina, I know you had some things to share. Ooh, y'all are getting up there. Y'all are starting to, I know there's all one person talking, but that's okay. Y'all started to talk to me a lot more. I'm getting a lot of likes, 75 views, more watch time hours. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I know you all were coming in here and to say hi. Yeah, the morning, I need to come up with a way where I can be in here just for you. I got to figure that out next. That's my next goal. Okay, I'm working on it. I got to figure out maybe in the evening as well. I would love to be able to come in all the time and just be here for you strictly, so you can be selfish to and just have me all to yourself. I'm working on that. Okay, so it's going to take me a little while to get to work that out, to get that together, as I have to work with people, help people along. But don't worry, we will figure it out. But I'm in YouTube rehabilitation right now. Every now and when I fall off the wagon and I start trying to do something with TikTok. I just enjoy energetically TikTok. And I get a little bit obsessive, but I really am obsessive about YouTube. So I'm 100% in with YouTube. Hold on, what do you want? Oh, I don't need that right now. I don't need that right now. Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay, let's see about this other one. Let's about this other section. It is when I said no, no, no. I'm not going to send you no information about my computer. Okay. Okay, so I'm calm again. Um, yeah. Let's see. I'll be able to take a break from for most part soon. Yeah, but I'm up this morning bright and early. Feel good about this morning. So what time is it? Let's see. Um, let me see. Mm. Oh yeah. Okay, so I guess my break is gonna be okay. So I do 6 to 9 alive, and then I can come back from six at 10. So I'll be back at 10. So I'll be back in an hour. But that's 30 minutes from now. So yeah, I can come back at 10 o'clock, and then you can have a little bit more of me because most clients, I got them out of the way. So now I can talk to you. So it's not that bad. It's just my big swingers contacted me this morning, so I can talk to you now. Anyways, thank you so much for like coming in and saying hi. That means a lot to me that you're able to come in and say, "Hey, what's going on with you? What's up?" And be nice. Just like it's morning and you're like, "Yeah, okay, good." I have on my sweater. Oh my gosh, I was like this in the reading. So I'm here for mm, about half an hour. Oh, and I'm just relaxing now. So oh, I'll be right back. I forgot something. I've got things on the stove. One sec. Okay, I'm back. Ugh. So, whoops. Oh, okay. Um, yeah. Okay. So I thanked you already, all for like coming in, chatting with me. It's a little calmer now, at least for the next 30 minutes. Um, Came a little early, and then 10 o'clock, I'll be back on. So, and I have more watch hours than I ever had in my life. I'm okay. So my goal is to get to 500, but I'm working at breaking 300 at the moment. So I have like 271. So I'm getting closer. The moment that I reach 300, I was saying my life, the moment I reach 300 watch hours, I know I'm going to feel more like very comfortable, on my way to 500 watch hours. And then for 500, when I reach my first 1,000 watch hours, I think I will be completely absorbed into YouTube. I think I'll be completely dedicated. But I'm just also, I don't want to let go of having a good time on YouTube. Like like the way where I'm at right now, I know I can enjoy it. I know that my channel is going to be a little bit on the more serious end, but we've also had some entertaining conversations. So I can see where it could get fun. Of course, you already know I have big visions for this channel in terms of like venues and published writings and things like that. But as I'm doing all that, I like to tell you all everything. Except I don't like to tell anybody like the company's passwords and I can't do that. You know, yeah. I don't know why they would ask that of me. That was crazy. Like especially this climate. And I do not want to. I've already attracted a scammer. 'Cause I opened up a new account and I've already had to like it's not even been a week. I've already had to like close that card out and ask for another one. They try to hook me up with it's like $96 a month membership. I'm like, no, you buy it, but use your resources to buy that card, whatever it is that thing is. Oh, it's for HBO. Somebody wants to watch HBO. HBO Max to be exact. And they just kept trying. I'm like, keep on trying, keep trying. They don't have no idea. See, that's why I would be very nervous about doing things like this. They don't even know what I can do. I'm like, do you know I could send things to you in your direction? And there's no contract that, like, in contract, like they talk about, don't bring up things. I'm not on contract in this channel when it comes to this. I mean, I can't. I didn't agree to not blast you, put you on blast, spiritual blast. So I'm like, oh my gosh, they don't even know. Oh my gosh. That if I just concentrate hard enough, they would be in a world of turmoil. And then what are they gonna do? So I haven't heard my phone jingle. My phone has not. They had. I don't think they've tried anything so far. I think they kind of gave up. But they were trying for a couple of days, trying to solve my. They tried to. The last one was they didn't get the date right. So yeah, but I still don't trust it. I mean, for like large sums of money, like if that I'm not gonna use immediately, I don't trust it because it's only because I was testing it to see like how secure it is, if it's easy, seamless, and I only put this $3 in there just to see what they're gonna do, and they tried it. I'm like, mm-mm. If I would have sent if I would have said let's say $96, $93 would be drafted from there. It was would have oh somebody got a membership for HBO Max that I paid for. It's a month, and there's no way I know where to go to because they used to have it where if you disputed something, the bank could actually kick that company off your card, but they actually now make you go to the seller yourself. So, like, if a seller, like in my case, somebody who wanted to buy a membership, $96 for HBO Max, that's not mine to dispute. So, I have to go to HBO Max and say, hey, Get off my car. I didn't buy this. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I liked when the bank could. I felt more secure, or that the bank was useful. But I don't see them as. I mean, it's like a double edged sword. Like you're nicking yourself with the sword, but you don't really want the sword. You just have to have it. Like you have to have like to do business, because especially if you're online, you do business, so you have to have an account, a bank account. You have to have a card of sorts. So, but then now it's kind of like you're in the wild wild west. It's like, well, you let them on your account, so it's got like you do business with them. You should contact the seller. Like you contacted somebody who doesn't want to give you your money back. Like, could you please refund me my money that you've taken out of my account that doesn't belong to you? They just go away like any human being would. They just walk away and just don't call you no more. And they're like, well, you're not a part of our account. What are you talking about? Gaslight you. It's like, well, your business drafted from my account. It used to be where the bank would like just erase them, eradicate them. You're like, whew, And then on top of that, replace your money, because it's like, no, fraudulent. You got to prove that it's fraudulent. And then I was with this one bank that I left from. That I did a company charged something, and then they were saying, well, we didn't see anything wrong with it, so we're not going to move on it. And I contacted their fraud department. I'm like, I'm leaving out of this and I'm going somewhere else. So like now they're working together, because the bank actually benefits. That's a transaction that where the bank benefits. So it's like I'm not gonna I'm not gonna reward you know systems that doesn't I can't even sleep fully all night. By the way, of course it was in the middle of the night when they thought they were gonna run away with a $96 monthly membership. It was like at 11 p.m. Like I need to, yeah. The bank where I'm at right now is perfect. I'm gonna use that one, and I can if I go to sleep at night, I don't have to think. Okay, let me check my accounts, make sure no one isn't robbing me blind while I'm asleep. So, or excuse me, that the banks are not allowing people to rob me blind while I'm asleep, because you're supposed to put the money in your bank to protect it. For no other reason. Now they've narrowed it down to no other reason but just to have a card to do electronic business with, to do business electronically. That's the only reason for the bank. What they've kind of narrowed it down to, at least from my experience. I'm not talking about everybody else's experience, but that's my experience. So, anyways, oh, by the way, the banking systems are Pluto. So, and you know what because if you're following the story, the saga with Pluto, you know what they've tried to do. They tried to steal Pluto, try to tell you that Pluto does not exist, that Pluto is not a planet. Since 2019, it's been reinstated as a planet. Not only is it not a dwarf planet, it is a major planet now. Pluto is a major planet now, by the way. You don't believe me? Man, I'm not for play here. Pluto 2019. And there are people making videos. Pluto's not a Pluto is not a this and that. So in 2006 it was reclassified, right, as a dwarf planet, but that was a long time ago. And then them it says Pluto has been officially reclassified as a planet, and it says today is a historic day. On that will bring joy to the hundreds of millions of Pluto lovers around the globe. The International Astronomical Union, IAU, the body that is responsible for naming and classifying objects in the cosmos, has just announced that Pluto has been reclassified as a major planet. Reclassified as a major planet. Like, you got to do this. And let's see. It says, that's right. The little dwarf planet that was then kicked out of even being a dwarf planet and called it something else, whatever it is. It says, that's right. The little dwarf planet will be rejoining the ranks of Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Planet X. The planet that will surely spell doom for all humanity. As many of you know, in 2006, the IAU made their infamous vote deciding to demote everyone's favorite planet to a dwarf planet. That was before then, because they were teaching that Pluto was a dwarf planet in grade school. It says it didn't meet the criteria, it needed to be a full-size planet. Immediately after, but no, what they did in 2006 to 2010, they made it where they said that Pluto was not a planet, period. Immediately after this 2006 announcement, the public exploded with outrage. There were a number of campaigns they're re-narrating Pluto. Because in 2012, 2014, when Pluto did go awry and they kicked it off the planetary list, um, the housing market, finances, all that happened globally. Yeah, don't mess with the gods. It says there were a number of campaigns launched and were aimed at ensuring that Pluto was reinstated as a planet. These met with no success, so no success, okay. But all of that has just changed now. After years of deliberation, the IAU announced in a press release that they have reclassified the icy world. They upgraded Pluto back to its proper standing as a planet. It says in quotes, we simply underestimated the public's attachment to Pluto. You tried to take Pluto because it's the Pluto of the banking systems of the world. And when it didn't enter into Sagittarius, oh yeah, we were watching. It astronomically it entered into our 13th sign of Ficus that has always been there. And they're just realizing all that astrophysicists corrected this, by the way, astrophysicists and NASA. That's why you say, well, why you say we're in Leo right now and Leo started on the 10th. That's why. It says, we realized our error shortly after the decision came down to demote it, said Dr. Amy Joggi, professor at the Institute of Planetary Studies and head of the IAU's Planetary Classification and Experimental Nomenclature Task Force. In quotes, we didn't think anyone would really care if a little clump of ice and rock on the outskirts of the solar system was reclassified astrology. Today we take steps to correct this most grievous of errors. End quote. In addition to Pluto's reclassification, this is my favorite part. In addition to Pluto's reclassification, Dr. Joggi has also proposed that the IAU create a new category of planet called a hyperplanet. These hyper planets, according to Dr. Joggy, are like regular planets, but at least 2 times as awesome. Then she goes on to say, it has also been proposed that Pluto be made an honorary member of this new planetary class. In all honesty, we feel bad for the way we treated Pluto. And more importantly, all those that cared about it so greatly, the public showed us our error. Hopefully, the new class of planet will be created without a hitch, and Pluto will be added as the first member. It's only fair. Say it with me now. Yay! And it says also have a happy April's Fools. So that's funny. It says also have a happy April's Fools. So yeah, Pluto has been reclassified, and it was 2019. So obviously April 1st, 2019. So there you go. I should share this on my Twitter. Then I have to go looking for it because I just go click the link. Mm, no, hold on. Where's that picture? Okay. There we go. And now this better. Yeah, that's how I wanted it. Okay. There. They be hating on Pluto. There's no reason for all that hate. All right. So I have like 16 more minutes, you guys. And then I will break. I will take a little bit of a break. But then I will come back. Let's say I will come back in 1 hour. Okay. I'm going to refresh, um, get my energy going, make sure that I have my tea before I log in so I don't have to disappear on you guys. And yeah, we'll chat and we'll talk and catch up. We'll see what we're going to talk about. Um, It's early, which is good. It's good that it's early. Nice and early, you guys. Hey, what gives? All right. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just relax. Uh, Actually, I can begin shutting down because I gotta come back. I know they're like, "What are you doing up here so early?" The good thing, they know they need me to come in early. I don't even know what their problem is. No, they're like practically so wide. They're like wide awake right now. Okay, so while that happens, um, so we had a productive morning. So I definitely will continue to do this. I will come back in 10 and 10 well at 10, 1 hour, um, and hopefully I'll be able to talk a little bit with you all about what's coming and see what the guides have to say. Yeah, that was most unfortunate. I had to give a little bit of a bad news. Turns out the guy said that he hated her or that he didn't like her and that on that he had blocked her. Um, yeah, but she said that she doesn't want anybody else. And I had just had that conversation in my life, and I'm like, guys, people say that all the time, but it's because people don't know the future. They don't know what kind of guy they're gonna get. They're thinking like, no, you'll find another guy. Just go out and date. But that's not how. I mean, if anybody could tell them that. Their grandmother could tell them that, or their granddad. No, I mean like a universe, like you manifest, right? Like she's like, oh, I've been trying to manifest. She's trying to manifest this specific guy, and I said, well, manifestation does work, and you are manifesting. But if he is saying no, no matter how much you manifest, you're going to manifest someone who can give you exactly what you're manifesting. And if he cannot, that's why you end up meeting another guy that's like 3 times as amazing. You're like, this guy who's new, who I'm unsure of, I didn't manifest him, I don't think, but yes, you did. You manifested the qualities, and and then he's like, he has everything on my list, and then he even has some things that he does that I didn't even ask for, and I'm like amazed. I've never met a guy like this, and then as they're healing and letting go of the last guy. So I worked with a client who's going through that, everything that I just stated. But I do wish her the best, and she took it more maturely. I must be getting better at my relay because yeah, she took this more maturely than most people would. So I'm sending her spiritual kudos Oh, there goes my time. Okay, guys, I am going to take an hour, but we'll be back. It's the fun is not over. We'll talk again shortly. Uh, enjoy the rest of your morning. Oh, I have to click off from here. I'll be back soon.